Welcome to the latest Judgement video. My name is Andrew Guns Galea, the game's creator, and today I'm releasing a new hero called Eidolem. Eidolem is a Chimera Golem, as you can see on your screen, steam powered, and he's also a construct. We're introducing construct, which is a new subtype for heroes, similar to undead, and have their own special rules, which I'll get into. As well as releasing Eidolem, since he is the 5th Chimera in the game, I'm releasing the Chimera rules, the tribe rules. Now, because there's only 5 Chimera at the moment, they're not legal for grand tournaments, but for other tournaments, tournament organisers have their own prerogative to make Chimera be legal, the same way undead are. We are planning on releasing 2 more Chimera before Christmas, so by the end of the year, both Chimera and undead hopefully should have 7 heroes each, which will round us all out nicely for Adepticon in the new year. Now, that's a studio model. I don't have the physical model in my hand. It is in Australia, but it hasn't reached me yet. I should get it tomorrow or the day after. So I'll have it in next week's video, and also I'll post some pics on Discord when I get the chance. After this video, Eidolem will be legal. He'll be released in the hallofeternalchampions.com web app, and also on both the iOS and Android Hall of Eternal Champions apps on their respective app stores. So you can add him to your warbands and start using him immediately, as soon as you get your hands on him, I guess. But he also will be added to the TTS module, and I believe the mighty Zor from Hungary is going to update the Vassal module as well. So we'll have him available for online play very soon. So without further ado, let's keep going. So first card of Eidolem, I'm going to read through it now. So Eidolem is a Chimera Golem, as I said. Movement 3, Agi 3, Res 2, and Mel 6. No Mag or RNG. So very plain stats. Agi 3, Res 2 is interesting. We don't have a lot of heroes like that. So sort of tanky, but Agi 3 you normally get a lot of dice. His health is 14, 15, 16, which is not amazing, but you'll see a rule in a minute which adjusts that. Now, the most interesting thing about Eidolem is that he does not have a Soul Harvest stat. Now, this is because he is a construct. This is one of the rules about constructs. So I'll go to that now to explain what that means. So constructs do not have a Soul Harvest stat. They cannot Soul Harvest souls off the board. So they can't pick them up doing a skill check. Having no Soul Harvest stat, that means that psionic characters like Ovexus and Maltique just have a 3 base dice against him all the time. He's treated like a monster in that regard because he doesn't have a Soul Harvest stat. Now, what does construct mean? So I said before, it's got no Soul Harvest stat. Souls ignore constructs during the communion phase. They won't move towards them at any stage. They don't know they're there because they're not living beings, and they're immune to fear and poison. Now, on Eidolem's card, I have put immune to fear and poison. We've put it there verbosely, but just essentially it's part of being a construct. They're all immune to fear and poison. So that's his base stats. He's got a Mech Fist, 1 AP, Reach 1 weapon, which is 2, 3, 4. Very stock standard. Now let's get into him. He's got a lot of unique abilities and it's a lot of fun. So Fate Shield is an innate ability he gets at level 1. At the end of step 3 of the communion phase, Eidolem gains temporary health equal to the size of his warband's fate pool, up to a maximum of 3, and expires at the end of the round. So this is step 3 of the communion phase. That's after you generate your fate. He will get up to 3 shields. So now he's 14, 15, 16 looks quite good. Now, note, he doesn't get this in round 1 because round 1 there's no communion phase, but he gets it from round 2 onwards. So if you've got 2 or 3 fate, he's going to be 15, 16 or 17 health at level 1 and can be up to 19 at level 3. With Res 2, that's pretty decent. It's pretty tanky. His other active ability at level 1 is Mech Grab, a 0 AP. Target enemy within 2 hexes is pushed towards Eidolem up to 1 hex. This is interesting. He's a Reach 1 hero, but can just drag someone in, essentially for 0 AP. And it is active ability, so you can't, charge and be missing and then pulling him in. It's an active ability. It has to be completely started and finished. Things that affect active abilities will affect this. So Skull's Primal Scream, I think it is, which makes active abilities cost an extra AP. That would affect this. So active ability also means you can only do it once. So yeah, it's a really good ability, and you'll see why in a minute. Now he has to have combat maneuver at level 1, which is Electric Pulse. If enemy model is damaged by Mech Fist, Eidolem can choose one of the following. Very flexible. Remove a marker or counter from them. So we've talked about this recently with all the other heroes that do markers, counters, and tokens. Now he doesn't do anything that's icons that are on the board. It's just a hero with a marker or a counter on it. Now if it's a counter like Bulwark, it takes the whole thing off, right? So it's still one counter that has stacks, but it takes the whole thing off. He has to damage them and get 2S. So with 6 Mel, that is not easy to do, obviously, but there are things you'll see later. And he also is a pretty good target that I've seen in our playtest games for leveling up and giving him items. Or some other hit fixing like Bastion or Ramona is also amazing with this guy. Right, now his second option with this 2S combat maneuver is he can make them suffer 2 true damage. Now this is interesting. So if someone's kind of knocked down or he's getting lucky with his rolls, he can be doing 2 true damage on top of 2, 3, 4 from his mech fist. And finally, friendly model within 2 hexes of Eidolem heals 2 health. He is an enhancer, by the way. This guy is a tank and an enhancer. So yeah, that 2 health, that healing is quite nice. Obviously, it can also be with him, be himself, because it's a friendly model within 2. It can be the effigy. It can be friendly summon models. It says friendly models, so he can heal. Very flexible heal for 2. That's him. That's his face card. He's still got some more level 1 abilities. So he's got Hyperdrive, another active that's 0 AP. The first time Eidolem charges during his activation, he gains +2 move if he does not use an advance prior to charging. He then becomes a move 0 for the rest of this activation. This is 0 AP, so this is amazing. So this means that this guy can now charge 7, and with 1 reach, he can charge something up to 8 away, which is pretty cool in my book. It's a really good ability, Hyperdrive. Then he's move 0 afterwards, so if you do charge in, you can't move, which is interesting, but yes, it's a good stat. Now, this is his bread and butter play at level 1. Electro Mine, which is interrupt, and it's 1 AP, and active. Place an Electro Mine icon in an unoccupied hex within 2 hexes. When an enemy with 1 or more points of res ends an advance, charge, or push within 2 hexes of the icon, the action is interrupted. The interrupt occurs after the enemy has finished their move or push, but before dice are determined in case of a charge. They suffer D3+1 true damage for each point of res they have, and the Electro Mine expires. A warband can have a maximum of 2 Electro Mines in play at any one time. There's a lot to dig into here. So Haxar's Voodoo Idols are very similar. They do D6 damage to everyone, but they don't do it if you get pushed in. You have to end an advance or a charge. This push is interesting, particularly when this model can spend 0 AP to push someone into him, which could potentially bring them in to an Electro Mine. Or you can push someone, or another person could push them in. The other thing that recently we changed the rules with interrupts, you can have multiple interrupts. So you can trigger 2 of these at any one time. So if a Res 2 model is pushed or advancing charges within 2 of these, they're going to get 2d3+1 twice. 4d3. So that's a lot. 4d3 plus 4. So it's huge. So he's very much an anti-tank buster, this guy. Now, tanks that can't be pushed, you might have Thrommel level 2 or have a Donregar with, with stone form on. They obviously can't be pushed. You can also have models that are Gruul models that are in forests that can't be pushed in their EP turn, or you can have a Braces of Disruption. This makes the Braces very, very attractive on tanks if you're playing into an Eidolem. So that's his level 1. So he's got a fair bit of utility level 1. He can remove command markers and counters. He can heal. He can do a little bit of damage. He can get to things far in the back line with his movement. He's got shenanigans with his Electro Mines. So very good kit level 1. It'd be interesting to see what people take with him. Now, level 2 and 3, he gains 1 health each time. And these are his 2 other abilities. His guides are Ista and Thomas at the bottom, if you're wondering what's going on. He's Ista and Thomas. Now, that means Thomas, on his EP turn, he can do his Electro Pulse for 1S, obviously, not 2, which makes him very potent. In Ista, being able to charge 7 and having Fly and Nimble is amazing, particularly when you see his level 2 ability. Okay, Power Surge, 1 Fate. Now, obviously the other thing about his level 1 kit, it's Fate free. So he's very Fate efficient, which makes sense because he doesn't want you to spend the Fate because he wants to keep it for his Fate Shield. But anyway, obviously he can use Fate for other things, but he does have a 1F ability at level 2. Eidolem's Mech Fist attack becomes a 2 AP weapon with damage grid 4, 6, 8. This is the highest damage grid in the game. It is 1F to do it. It becomes a 2 AP weapon, so it's 1 attack with it. An enemy model damaged by a mech fist attack suffers stun if it's just damaged. And if a J was rolled, they also suffer knockdown. Power Surge cannot be used to target effigy models and cannot trigger combat maneuvers. So he can't combine power that with Electric Pulse, for example. And expires at the end of Eidolem's current activation. So it's a fate ability that he can use to then charge. If he charges with this weapon, so he can combine it with Hyperdrive, he can charge 7 with this weapon, do 4, 6, 8 now, and on Ista's EP turn, he's an absolute menace now, right? He can spend a fate at the start, spend 0 AP to get Hyperdrive. He can fly with Nimble 7 hexes across the board with a 2 AP weapon, do 4, 6, 8. Pretty much good, very good chance of stunning. And if a J was rolled, it also knocked down. Eidolem is a great candidate for the Vorpal Blade. At Mel 6, it is tough to get a lot of this stuff really humming. But we've done that on purpose for balance reasons. But yeah, Power Surge is an awesome level 2 ability. As I said to you at the start, he's a very strong level 2 target, but that is a slot that is highly prioritized for different heroes, but it's interesting to see. And Enhanced Fate Shield is his level 3 and innate ability. Target friendly non-defender model, non-effigy model within 2 hexes of Eidolem at the end of the step 3 of the commune phase gains the same amount of temporary health that Eidolem receives from his fate ability. So if he gets 3 shield temporary health, he can give it to someone else at the same time at level 3. So it actually becomes a very good late game. You normally have a lot of fate late game. He's dishing up temp 3 health to him and a friend every commune phase, which is amazing. Said before, Ista and Thomas, there's a lot of synergies with Ista and Thomas with this guy, and he's a tank and an enhancer. So that is Eidolem. We're really happy with how Eidolem has turned out. He brings a lot to the table. He brings a lot of uniqueness to the table. There's not a lot of things out there like him. We found him a ton of fun to play in the in playtest, and we can't wait to see what people do with him in Ista and Thomas, or anywhere you feel he might fit nicely in. Right, so now onto the Chimera. Now the Chimera Tribe, let me just get that up. So 3 things, divine gifts. So Chimera today, I'm going to try to do this. Urvexis, Gonsoku, Carver, Eidolem, and there is one more. And why did I do this without, did I say Urvexis, Carver, Eidolem, Gonsoku? It'll come to me. Don't worry about it for now. I just can't think of who it is at the moment. Chimera can be equipped with 2 of the same artifact type, either offensive or defensive. And if they don't equip a sacred artifact, they can still only be equipped with 2 artifacts in total. Now this is amazing. You can combine an Armor Shredder with a Vorpal Blade on Urvexis. Or you can put Boots of Agility and Boots of Stability, right? On Gonsoku, for example. So yeah, there is a lot of amazing things that you can do with that Arcane Warp Warband bonus. And yeah, there's just so many good combinations of things that you want to do. Make something super tanky, make something super aggressive. Yeah, so it's awesome. Now, its Sacred Artifact is also amazing. It's Replicate. So the Sacred Artifact of the enemy God Tribe is added to the Chimera Artifact deck. Replace all instances of the God Tribe with Chimera. If the enemy warband is the Chimera Tribe, neither warband gains a Sacred Artifact. So basically, that 0AF means nothing. I'll have to take that off the card. But essentially, what it means is at the start of the game, whatever you're playing against, you get their Sacred Artifact and it gets added to your deck. If it mentions, mentions a specific tribe or god, you replace it with Chimera, and your Chimera can use it. Now, there's a whole bunch of awesome Sacred Artifacts out there. This is amazing because you get to have the same power as your opponent. It doesn't steal it, it replicates it, so they still keep their Sacred Artifact, but you can. But notice with Arcane Warp, you can't do Arcane Warp if you're carrying a Sacred Artifact. So there's obviously a lot of balance going on there. But yes, that's that. And then Effigy Power, Choreography. Friendly Chimera models may swap places with another Chimera model from their warband within 5 hexes. Both models are placed in the hex of the other model in which they were switched. Chimera models may switch places multiple times from choreography. For this round, enemy models cannot be placed by enemy models' abilities while within 2x's of a friendly Chimera. So you can chain these, right? So if you've got someone on this side of the board, they can swap with someone to go there and then swap with the other one to go there. So you can just keep swapping until you're happy where they are, as long as they're within 5 hexes of each other. So this is a very high ceiling, high floor ability, right? You need to be experienced with the Chimera to get the most out of it. It took us a long time to sort of prepare for this, while you're playing Chimera, while we're doing the play testing. So there is a lot of brain cells required to get stuck into this and make the most of it. So hopefully you can get stuck in. Now the other thing, don't forget, for this round, enemy models cannot be placed by any model abilities while within 2x's of a Chimera. So this, if you are Chimera against Krognar, you can call this first and stop them being placed with their effigy power if you get to call yours first, if you got priority. So it's really strong there, but any ability that makes things place, there's so many things in the game that place your own models, and this completely shuts it down for that round while they're in 2 of your Chimera. So if you've got your Chimera in a reasonable spread, you're going to cover a lot of the battlefield, a lot of enemy models that can't be placed by any means. So really cool. That is the Chimera. We're super pleased about this. Super happy with the way this has turned out. We've got 5 Chimera now, and I still, for the life of me, can't think of the 5th one. It's going to come to me as soon as I get off this video, but you can just go on halleternalchampions.com and check it out, and you'll see it there. So that is Eidolem and the Chimera are released. I'm going to now publish these to halleternalchampions.com. They'll be there in a couple of minutes. By the time you watch this video, they should be there. And then also, I'll be pushing updated versions of the apps to both app stores, which normally takes a couple of days to get through the review process. Next week, I'll be back. Hopefully, should be releasing. I don't know if I will release. No, Echo will be a couple of weeks. Next week I'll just have a standard video. I might talk about some tactics with Eidolem and also show off the model. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your interest. Thanks for playing Judgement. If you don't play Judgement, get into it. It's an amazing game. It's a lot of fun. We have an awesome community. And until next week, peace.